Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video, I am going to be doing a favorites video. I don't know if I did one last month, I might have, but I wanted to include some products that I have been loving from the month of February. I apologize that this wasn't up sooner, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do one, but I decided to go ahead and go for it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I have a foundation, and this has definitely been something that's been right under my nose. I haven't even, I didn't even know it existed, but I saw it so many times in the drugstore, and it's been in the drugstore for some time now. And I have Jen Phelps to thank for this, and this is the CoverGirl True Blend Hydrating Foundation. She spoke about this on... It was on one of her videos, and it was kind of like underrated drugstore makeup. So this is the CoverGirl foundation that has the white lid to it, and this is specifically the hydrating version. They have a matte version, and then they have this version. This is such a beautiful foundation. I really recommend this, especially if you have dry skin, or maybe you're looking for something that's a little bit more natural when it comes to the finish on your skin. It's a really great, just kind of everyday foundation. It's going to give you about medium to full coverage, more so leaning on the medium coverage. I just love this. I think this is such a good foundation. Whenever I first got it, I obviously tested it out, and then I kept using it day after day after discovering this foundation. This is just so good. I can't believe it's been in the drugstore for so many years, and I never even thought about it. I thought it was just another foundation, nothing special, but it truly is. Check out the hydrating version. It's not even super dewy. It's just gonna feel really nice again and have that natural finish to it. So recommend this one. I do have the shade L4 Classic Beige, and it's a really good shade match for me. Then I have a concealer, and I apologize because I've talked about this concealer before, but I wanted to talk about it again because it is just so good. It was in my last Shop My Stash rotation, and this is the Morphe 2 Hide and Peak Concealer. I do have the shade Peak of Peach, and again, it's a pretty good shade match for me. This, every time I use it, just makes my under eyes look so nice and so healthy. It's really easy to blend out. It builds up really nicely as well. Which is something that sometimes I struggle with concealers, because sometimes you want more coverage, but with that you sacrifice how it looks underneath your eyes. I don't have that issue with this one. This is just really nice and hydrating underneath the eyes. It's not going to emphasize too many fine lines. It's obviously going to emphasize fine lines because if you have fine lines, concealer is going to sink into them. It's inevitable at this point. However, this one does it significantly less compared to some others that I've tried. So really recommend this one. I know that there's been some kind of shady things going on with Morphe, so I understand if you don't want to support the brand, but I just wanted to let you know that this is a great concealer, especially if you have dry under eyes or finicky under eyes where concealer tends to be an issue for you when it comes to just how they appear underneath your eyes. So really enjoy that one, and I was reaching for it all the time when it was in my Shop My Stash. All right, then I have a cream bronzer, and actually I have two, one cream, one liquid, and this is actually something that was inspired by Emily Noel here on YouTube. I love her videos, super love her videos, but she had been talking about the Refi cream bronzer. She specifically has the shade Tan. I picked up the shade Sand. This is such a good formula. Talk about something super easy. And I'm gonna be honest with you though, it is pretty warm toned. It's pretty orange on the skin. You have to be okay with that. And again, this is the shade Sand. This is the lightest of the three shades that they have, at least from what I saw in store at Sephora. I only saw three shades. But if you're okay with a little bit of a warm tone and a little bit of maybe orange, color, this is beautiful. I highly recommend. It blends out like a dream. It is pigmented enough. It's not overly pigmented, but it's also not pigmented to the point where you feel like you're having to dip your brush in multiple times. This is just kind of like that perfect sweet spot amount of pigmentation. And what I love is that it blends out like a dream. It blends out in seconds, and it just looks so nice. I'm really excited that I have this, especially for summer. I think it'll be a really nice summer bronzer. So love this. And also I was pleasantly surprised at the price, because I want to say the price of this was only $25 or $26 at Sephora. And I feel like that's a pretty decent price for a cream bronzer. I feel like a lot of creams, and especially just a lot of complexion or color products at Sephora, they usually are in the $30 range. And the fact that this was under $30, I was a little bit shocked, and actually it was in the mid-20s. So really, really love that one. Then I have a liquid bronzer, and I need to preface this product because I talked about in my de-influencing video that you should skip on the blush tapes from Tarte. However, don't skip on the Sculpt tape from Tarte. So I just want to make sure that y'all don't think and coming over here that I'm a hypocrite or anything, because what I have seen about the blush tapes from Tarte are that they look more like a highlighter on the skin. And I'm not into that, especially because if they're trying to go for the Charlotte Tilbury look, those have supposedly more pigment to them blush wise, but that hasn't been necessarily my experience, but they're definitely not highlighters. So I just wanted to preface that because I don't want y'all to be like, oh my gosh, de-influencing video, you were talking about, you know, not getting the tapes from Tarte. However, I did get the contour or the Sculpt one, and this is really, really good. Like, I love this. This is better than the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the Tarte Sculpt tape. It's a contour, and I have the shade Cool Bronze. This is better than Charlotte Tilbury, you guys. I cannot get over it. It has similar packaging. It's still that wand. It has the twisty where you can turn it on or off. This is so good. It is so much easier to blend. The shade is a little bit more forgiving on a lighter skin tone, because that was always my issue with the Charlotte Tilbury. It was a little bit harder to blend out, and it was really, really pigmented that it was almost intimidating to blend out on the skin, especially because I have fair skin or light skin. I don't have fair skin, it's more light. And so sometimes it would look muddy on my skin. Nobody wants to be looking like that, you know? And a lot of it has to do with the packaging. If it was in a packaging that was a little bit easier to control how much you were getting, you would probably have an easier time rather blending it out. But with this one, because the formula is a little bit more forgiving, I don't mind the packaging as much. This is a great, great formula. Again, I have the shade Cool Bronze. It works really well for me. I love this. I was going for it multiple times in a row, which is really rare for me. Of course, if it's in my Shop My Stash, that's different, but this wasn't. Like, this was just a new product that I purchased that I was testing out, and I kept wanting to reach for it. So love this so, so much. Then I have a powder bronzer, and this is taking it way back. I think I owned this in high school and maybe in college. This is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, and this is the waterproof bronzing powder. I do have the shade Sunlight. Another Emily Noel inspired purchase. I picked this up, I think, at Target, and the only issue that I have with this, and it is a major issue, it doesn't have a ton of shades. They have a deeper shade than this. They might even have maybe one other one, but that's it. That, as far as I know, and as far as from what I've seen in store. So if you have a tan to deeper complexion, this bronzer may not work for you. I hope it does. If you have a deeper complexion or even a more medium complexion and you use this, let me know. I would love to hear your feedback on this bronzer. My experience though is it is so good. It is so easy to blend. It gives a really nice, beautiful, bronzy look to the skin. It almost looks like you're just kind of touched by the sun in a way. I know that sounds a little bit cheesy, but seriously, it looks really nice on the skin. Emily Noel does use the darker shade. This is, I think, the lightest shade, and the fact that she's able to use the darkest definitely worries me a little bit as far as its range, but she usually tends to go for deeper shades in bronzers, so it could just be her preference. But yes, really love this one. It's very, very user-friendly. It's perfect for beginners, and I really like the shade and just how easy it is to blend. This has been even better than... What bronzer was I using? The Revlon Skin Lights bronzer, like the prismatic bronzer. I was far more reaching for this more so than that Revlon one. So love this one from Rimmel. Then I have two powders, and the first powder is this powder from NYX. This is the No Filter Finishing Powder, and I have the shade Porcelain. So this actually is another Emily Noel purchase, believe it or not. But this is kind of like, so it's a finishing powder. So what it's going to do is it's going to kind of perfect the skin, give your skin a little bit of a glow as you're finished with your base products, right? So this is great as kind of like as if you were treating it like an hourglass powder. So if you wanted to focus it on maybe the perimeters of your face, or if you do have a dry T-zone and you want to go in your T-zone, you could do that too. But every time I use this powder, my skin looks so fresh and so beautiful and almost just like luxurious throughout the day. Of course, I have to be a little bit careful and mindful for, you know, when I place, where I place this on my skin, because I can sometimes get oily in my T-zone, especially my nose. So I try to be careful. I try to mainly keep this on my cheeks, maybe my forehead, but this is beautiful, you guys. I hope this is available. I really do. I have found mine at CVS. I've also seen it at Target. I haven't seen it at Ulta, maybe Walmart, because NYX is now carrying, Walmart is now carrying NYX, so maybe check there. But I have seen this at CVS, which is where I got mine, and Target as well. So again, I have the shade Porcelain. This is a beautiful, beautiful finishing powder. The other powder that I want to recommend is a powder foundation. And I finally was able to try the Maybelline Superstay Powder Foundation. This is the newer one. So they had come out with one a year or so back, maybe a lot further back than that. But this is the newer one, the one, of course, that went viral on TikTok. I do have the shade 120. It works really well for me. I love this. This is so good. It's not as much of a favorite as the Makeup Revolution one, but I think this will do. I really do. I love the one from JCat. I really enjoy this one. So I am so far having some good options at the drugstore because, again, as some of you probably know, because I talk about it in almost every video, I feel like the Makeup Revolution one I think is getting discontinued. I can't find my shade anymore on Ulta's site, and it's also not on Makeup Revolution's site. But this is a really good alternative. It's very pricey though, especially if you get it at CVS or Walgreens. I highly recommend, especially if you shop CVS, use your 40% off one item coupons. That will get you some good prices on some drugstore makeup. But this is a really, really nice powder foundation. I haven't used it solely as a foundation, and that's really not how I use powder foundations. I mainly use them as ways to get more coverage in certain areas on my face, especially if I'm going in with something a little bit lighter, like a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream. I will go in with this as a follow-up just to kind of get some additional coverage, maybe in my larger pore areas, or maybe where I have more redness, that kind of thing. So really enjoy this one. It's not too cakey, it's not too heavy on the skin, and I feel like it wears really, really well. I've been reaching for it a lot. So really, really happy that I found a very accessible drugstore powder foundation that I really like. And of course, there are a ton of shades to choose from, which is really nice. And I do think you can probably use that as a foundation as well. If you have pretty even skin, I think it'll do a good job for you. All right, then I have a brow gel, and this is actually the Milani Stay Put Liquid Brow Wax, and this is just the only shade that they have. It's just the shade 110, which is clear. I like this. I really do. I was a little bit worried at first because a lot of people that had been reviewing this here on YouTube, they were talking about it leaving white residue in their brows. That does happen, but I feel like the spoolie, if you just run through it again, it'll remove the white residue, or it'll dry and it dries clear. So I don't have any issues with that. I actually think this is really nice. It has a really nice hold to it. I will be honest with you though, I don't run into too many issues with my brows not holding. I don't feel like I have unruly brows or anything like that. So it does work for me. So if you have someone, or if you're someone whose brows maybe fall very easily, I can't speak for that, but I would give it a shot. I think it makes your brows look really nice and just kind of thick and bushy, and I do think it has fairly nice hold. So I'd recommend this one from Milani. And even if you have dark hair, I have darker brows, and the white residue is a non-issue for me. All right, before I get into my non-makeup products, I have one fail. I looked around to see if I had any others, but this is the only fail. And I'm really sad that it's a fail. And it's the Telescopic Lift Mascara from L'Oreal. The one and only most viral freaking mascara ever. So annoying. But anyways, this is a good one. However, it is so hard to remove at night. It is so hard to remove. I'm not even joking you, I was getting dry skin on my under eyes from having to go in with makeup remover at night, almost every night, just to get this damn mascara off. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not about to risk my eye dryness or to risk my eye health, right, for this, because my under eyes already look like crap. And if they're gonna look dry on top of that, that is a huge no-no for me. So this mascara gives a great effect to the lashes. It's really nice and volumizing and lengthening. The mascara wand on this product doesn't bother me. I know that that's kind of bothered some others previously. That doesn't bother me. It's a great formula. However, I can't freaking get it off. If you have this mascara and you're able to make it work for you and you get it off pretty easily, I'm so happy for you, because it is a really beautiful mascara. But every time I go in, I even do the double cleanse method, you guys. I go in with a makeup cleansing balm and I make all of that makeup melt off, and then I go into the shower, I rinse all of that, you know, makeup melter off, and then I get out of the shower and I have raccoon eyes. And that doesn't happen with me with other mascaras. So this is just one that really, really just locks onto your eyelashes, and I have a really hard time removing it. So just wanted to throw that out there in case you have issues with that. I mean, I don't see who wouldn't have an issue with that, to be honest. But if you're someone where most mascaras, you know, smudge on you, that might be a selling point for you. So just a fail I wanted to mention, and it sucks because it is a really, really nice mascara. It makes my lashes look amazing, but that is an issue for me. I can't have my eyelids in my under eye area look dry because I'm having to go in with extra things to get that mascara off. All right, then I have 3 fragrances that I wanted to mention because I don't talk about that a lot, but it is something that I wear every single day. First off, Ariana Grande Cloud. Funny story, I lost this. It smells so good. I lost this for months. Like for months, I could not find this. And I was devastated. I would smell this or Baccarat Rouge everywhere I'd go, and I'm like, RIP, like I want that perfume back in my life. And I finally found it one day in my house. It was like in an old purse that I was using. That's where it was, because I think I had brought it to work once, and that's why it was in my purse. Long story, but anyways, I love this. This smells so good. Gosh, it is amazing. I'm sure this is old news for you guys, but I'm really excited because my 5-year wedding anniversary is coming up next month in April, and I think my husband is going to splurge and get me the Baccarat Rouge perfume. Not 100% sure, but I did kind of hint that at him. So I will be really excited to compare these or those to see how accurate this is to that scent. And also just to kind of have like the original, what it's based off of. But this is just such a good smelling perfume. This has really good wear time on it, so you do not need the expensive one. However, if you want to treat yourself, you know, but this is a great one. You can find it really cheap at Walmart for like 25 bucks or something. This one I got at Ulta, but I love this perfume so much. Also, a fragrance oil that I've kind of been using again. Remember when I talk about the amber oil? It's been a while, right? This amber oil, this perfume oil, this fragrance oil, what have you. This is amazing. This is just my love. I just love the way it smells. So this is what it looks like. You can actually pick these up at Ulta now. I'm really, really excited that you can find these at Ulta now. I had to get them at either Amazon or at Whole Foods before, and now they are at Ulta. And the brand is Namat International Inc. But it looks like it's in Union City, California. But anyways, this smells so, so, so good. I love this, especially like on weekends whenever I don't want something too dressed up like fragrance wise, but I want something that's gonna just smell good all day long. I don't have to worry about reapplying. I'll just put this on my pulse points, like my pressure points, like my wrists, my like crevice right here above my elbow. I don't know. I'll put some on the back of my knee sometimes, on my neck, and then I'm good to go all day long. And I will continue to smell this throughout the day. Love this so much. I want to say it's about 20 bucks, but because it's an oil, it's going to last you a long time. So really recommend this. It's again, the amber oil. Love this. You can find this usually at like the grab and go section from Ulta, which is all of the products that you see as you're checking out. All right, then I'll pop a picture up because I can't find the sample bottle. But I did place an order at Sephora and I got a sample perfume in my order. And I wanted to share this scent with you because, oh my gosh, it smells so, so good. Like, oh my gosh. And it is the, where is it? Okay, it is from Clean Reserve and it is Radiant Nectar. This smells so good. I totally want to buy this in the travel size because I think it'll be a beautiful scent for spring and summer. Check it out. Right now, it doesn't look like it's an option as a sample, so I apologize, but if you can get this as a sample, again, it's from the brand Clean Reserve, and it's the scent Radiant Nectar. I highly recommend, check it out. It's a really nice, just kind of florally florally scent. But it smells so, so good. So that I've been using that little sample like crazy because I just really enjoy the way that that perfume smells. But yeah, those are all of my favorites. I hope that you enjoyed. I really enjoy favorites videos. And I only had one fail, which I guess is a good thing, but I wanted to share these products with you. I'm hopefully going to do a speed reviews video very, very soon because I've tried out a ton of new makeup, especially drugstore makeup, so stay tuned for that. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!
Maybe one day it'll be easy, sweet like cotton candy.